What a week in space. Starship is finally back, space stocks are exploding, NASA is preparing for one of the most complex missions ever, and scientists may have found a completely new way to search for alien life. Let's jump right into it. First up, Starship Flight Test 12. SpaceX is currently targeting May 19 for the next Starship launch from Starbase, Texas. This will be the first flight of the brand new Starship version 3 design. And this rocket is absolutely massive. Before launch, both stages of Starship are filled with thousands of tons of liquid methane and liquid oxygen. Then comes engine chill, final checks, ignition sequence, and finally all 33 Raptor engines light up at full power. If everything goes well, Super Heavy will separate after liftoff and splash down in the Gulf. Meanwhile, Ship 39 will continue its mission, deploy Starlink simulators, test heat shield upgrades, and perform engine relight tests. You can watch the launch live on SpaceX's website and on X. And honestly, this could become one of the most important Starship test flights so far. Now let's talk about a very interesting rumor. Reports suggest that SpaceX and Google may be exploring orbital data centers in space. Yes, actual data centers in orbit. Why? Because AI is exploding and future AI systems may require enormous amounts of energy and cooling. Space-based data centers could theoretically use constant solar power and radiate heat directly into space. At the moment, nothing has been officially confirmed. But the fact that these discussions are even happening shows where the industry may be heading. AI and space are starting to merge faster than ever before. Next, Intuitive Machines earnings. Intuitive Machines reported record quarterly revenue of around $187 million. Revenue nearly tripled year over year. Their backlog also climbed to over $1 billion. CEO Steve Artemis sounded very confident during the earnings call. The company continues expanding into lunar services, communications, and national security space operations. The market reaction was mixed at first because earnings missed expectations slightly, but investors later focused on the strong growth outlook. And overall, the entire space sector remains very bullish right now. Speaking of earnings, Virgin Galactic also reported earnings this week. The company still generates very little revenue and remains far away from profitability. However, Virgin Galactic says the next generation Delta-class spaceplanes remain on schedule. Those new vehicles are critical. Without them, the business model simply does not work. The big question remains, can Virgin Galactic survive long enough to scale operations and eventually become profitable? Right now, it is still a very high-risk company. But talking about space stocks in general, this week was huge, especially Rocket Lab, which continues to gain momentum. But one of the most interesting signals is the VanEck Space Innovators ETF with the ticker symbol JEDI. Volume is accelerating, price action is getting stronger, and investors are clearly starting to rotate back into the space sector. For the first time in years, space stocks are becoming a real market trend again. Now let's move to geopolitics and tech. A lot of attention this week focused on meetings involving Donald Trump, Elon Musk, and Xi Jinping in China. What made this especially interesting was the massive group of tech CEOs traveling alongside Trump. And Elon Musk once again stole the spotlight. Photos and memes from the dinner meetings went viral online. Even Elon's son appeared during parts of the visit. Officially, discussions focused on trade, technology, AI, and industrial cooperation. But many people are now wondering, were space topics discussed as well? Possibly yes. China is rapidly expanding its lunar and space station ambitions. Meanwhile, SpaceX dominates global launch capability. So even if space was not officially discussed publicly, it is almost impossible to imagine that launch dominance, Starlink, lunar programs, or future Mars ambitions were not part of private conversations. Next, Blue Origin and Artemis. Blue Origin has now completed a full-scale training mock-up of the Blue Moon Mk2 lunar lander. Astronauts can already begin training for future Artemis missions. Blue Moon is one of 2 lunar landing systems selected by NASA alongside SpaceX's Starship. And here is something interesting. Blue Origin is currently ahead of SpaceX in astronaut training integration because the full mock-up is already operational at Johnson Space Center. But both companies still face enormous challenges, especially orbital refueling and uncrewed lunar landing demonstrations. NASA also released major Artemis 3 updates this week. And honestly, the mission sounds incredibly complex. Artemis 3 is currently planned for late 2027, but instead of landing on the Moon, the mission will stay in low Earth orbit. The goal is to test docking operations between Orion and 1 or possibly 2 lunar landers, Starship and Blue Moon. NASA says this could become one of the most technically difficult missions the agency has ever attempted. Artemis 4 is now expected to become the real lunar landing mission around 2028. And finally, alien life. Scientists may have developed a completely new way to search for life beyond Earth. Instead of only looking for molecules connected to life, researchers now want to study how those molecules are organized. Because living systems create patterns that random chemistry usually does not. And this could become extremely important for places like Mars and Europa. Even more interesting, NASA may already have a spacecraft capable of helping with this search. The Europa Clipper mission carries instruments that can analyze organic molecules from ice particles around Europa. This does not confirm alien life, not even close, but it could massively improve how we search for it in the future. Honestly, this is incredibly exciting. And finally, one of the biggest topics on the internet this week, UFOs. The Pentagon officially released a new batch of declassified UAP or UFO videos and documents. The files include military footage, pilot reports, infrared recordings and even old Apollo mission documents connected to the unexplained sightings. Some videos show strange glowing objects, unusual shapes and fast-moving aerial phenomena that investigators still cannot fully explain. But very important, the Pentagon clearly stated that this is not proof of alien life. Most cases remain unresolved simply because there is not enough data yet. And yes, the notorious Neil deGrasse Tyson also reacted to the release. As usual, he stayed very skeptical. Tyson basically said, "Show me actual evidence." He joked that instead of blurry videos, the public wants to finally see a real alien spacecraft or biological proof. At the same time, he also said humanity should stay scientifically open-minded and prepared for the possibility that intelligent life may exist somewhere in the universe. So right now, the mystery continues. No confirmed aliens, but definitely a lot of new discussions. And probably many more UFO files still to come. I will cover this topic in one of my upcoming episodes in more detail. Wow, again, what a week in space. The space industry overall feels stronger than it has in years. Starship is back, moon missions are accelerating, space stocks are heating up, and AI, defense, robotics and space are all starting to merge together. The next few years could completely reshape the future of space exploration. If you have enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe and share this video. And of course, let me know down in the comments which story this week excited you the most. Starship, Artemis, space stocks or the search for alien life. Thank you for watching and I will see you in the next episode of Alex SpaceX Talks. Ciao.